Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Theresa, but you can call me Cat. I'm doing a monthly horoscope, astrology, zodiac situation reading for Capricorn. This is going to be an ancestor overview. It's a reading that I offer. It's $77. I just changed the price because it was bothering me that it was like overpriced based on a previous series of ancestral readings that I was offering. So if you see it anywhere where I'm talking about my ancestor overview reading as being $134, that's wrong. It's $77. Now if you want to add charms to the reading, you can add charms to any reading that I offer for $7. So if I threw charms on top of the cards, it would then be $84. Okay, so the first one that I did, I forgot to say what cards I was using. So I've got the Work Your Light Oracle. I have my combined deck of Tim Burton and Historical Fashion playing cards here. I have the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. I have this Radley Valentine Angel Tarot deck. And I have the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck here. So the way this reading runs is there is a section here for the viewer or whoever you're watching this for, if you're cross-watching. I have 2 oracle cards for like advice about this. And then I have ancestral cards here for near ancestors, mediumly remote ancestors, and then more ancient ancestors. So it could be parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, but we could also be talking about within the last couple hundred years, within maybe 1,000 years, and then within, you know, tens of thousands of years ago. And then I have a matching card from each of these older piles to give a sort of wrap-up commentary on the whole situation. So this is for Capricorn. This is for anyone with Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, Venus. If you're being affected by Saturn, Sagittarius, and Pluto in Capricorn right now, this also might be relevant for you. And so the way that this reading works is that within this section for the querent, this is past, present, potential future. Then I have Wands energy, Cups energy, Swords energy, and Pentacles energy. So this is like your core and things related to that, your modus operandi, the essential self, what your life mission might be related to. This is emotions and psychic waves. This is thoughts, perceptions, communication, and this is going to be manifestation, the physical body, money, resources, and things like that. Alright, so I tried reading this 2 different ways. I started here and then I started here, and I think I want to start here. So let's look at the personal past. We have the Dreamer inverted. So this is the Fool in this deck. We have Archangel Metatron. Archangel Metatron is in charge of the geometries that make up the structure of the universe. Right? That's his bread and butter. He's into the tetrahedron. He's into the tetrahedrons. Oh my god, I can't talk. So essentially the Fool inverted. Now this is Uranus energy. Uranus is retrograde in Taurus, and I believe it should be staying there through January, I believe. I don't think it's moving into another sign while it's retrograding, but don't quote me on that. So this is in opposition. it's like I'm being... The energy that I'm getting with this is like I'm being sucked backwards through my own consciousness, like I'm being turned inside out. And then we have the Two of Air. This is coming in the psychic, intuition, and emotional space. Unable or unwilling to make a decision, a stalemate, pretending there is no problem. Like, I'm being turned inside out mentally, emotionally, spiritually, but I'm fine. Two of Swords is normally... I'm practicing with the swords. I got my blindfold on, and I'm trying to figure out how to see things from other perspectives. If you're inside out, then you're definitely seeing things from another perspective. It might end up being like a bad acid trip, but that doesn't necessarily have to be. It's sort of like, I don't know where I'm at right now. Right? Alice didn't know what was going on when she first fell into Wonderland. And Two of Swords is the moon in Libra. So we have this darkness aspect, and then 2 there with the balance energy, Venus energy. Now, Venus is going to be in Libra starting October 29th. I'm not sure how long she's going to be in there, but Venus and Mercury are entering Libra on the same day and should still be there at the beginning of November. Mercury retrograding for a minute, but they're going to end up in the same place. So then in the communication, we have the 7 of air. So we have more air energy. So we have air all the way through so far for Capricorn energy. Aquarius, Libra, and now the 7, which is more Aquarian energy. It's like a round trip ticket, right? Because we go from 0 to 7, but it's like an oscillation, a sandwiching. Plans that need revision, more going on than meets the eye, poor timing. I'm fine. No, I'm fine, I can handle it. Right? The horses are running around, they're not even on the carousel. It's like, now I gotta go and chase him down and then, like, stick him back on the pole and then make sure the machine's plugged in and hook it back up. And it's... Instead of the 7 of Swords coming in usually being the sneaky energy with the moon in Aquarius. So we have moon again. It's not I'm being sneaky, it's I'm overwhelmed. I just heard look a gift horse in the mouth. It's like, this isn't mine, I don't want it. Not, this isn't mine, I'm gonna take it. There's a song that tried to pop into my head, but I couldn't quite get it. Oh, it's Supertramp. Oh Lord, is it mine? Ooh, I like the way these cards are tiled. Okay. The Magician. Archangel Raziel. You are ready, you have the resources, or the ability to manifest them. Life is magical. This is Mercurial energy. So notice I said there was Venus energy, and now we have the Mercurial energy. More air. Gemini, Virgo. I think here it's going to end up being Virgo energy. I do see Hermit energy here, which is Virgo, which makes sense if that's Virgo. I also see 9 Swords, which is the Nightmare, but that's half moon. Mars in Gemini, which is more air energy. It's like, in the past, Capricorn, an earth sign, is dealing with these energy shifts related to basically to perception. It's like I'm working really hard. I can handle everything myself. But the reality is, no, you can't. And by the time you're trying to manifest something, you need a goddamn miracle to get everything done. But it's being offered. And it's like, if you can get your head out of your own ass far enough and release the things that aren't yours, release the horses, there should be this sort of divine call to your own true power. So this is past. Let's look at the present. Okay, so we have wands in the wands sector. We have Page of Fire. Outgoing, creative, confident, mischievous. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. Okay. So in the current space, we have a 1 or an 11. And normally when I see Page, I'm like, yes, it's 11. The only reason it's 11 is because it's this divine timing. But I see the 1 and I see the 0, and I'm like, okay, it's a 1 again. It's like a computer code. 1011. I'm going to harness my own inner power, but I'm just starting out. I'm not sure what to do, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try to make it for myself. I'm going to try to build my own magic inside me and start releasing it instead of hoping that the universe is going to help me if I try to do everything that sort of comes my way. It's like you don't have to say yes to everything. Emotionally, presently. The Hanged Man inverted. Neptune retrograde. So we have Gabriel. Look at things from a different perspective, a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. Those are things that I've just said, but what's interesting is that looking at things from a different perspective is exactly what the Two of Air normally does. It's like, dur, 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 dur. I have no hair. That's from Who's Live? Or whose line is it anyway? Now, it's called awakening, but usually the Hanged Man, when it's inverted, is the awakening. So it's almost, what I'm getting here is when you wake up from a dream and you're going about your business and then you wake up again, like you were 2 dream layers in and you didn't realize it, right? It was like you sit up bolt upright and then you see something completely whack and then you wake up again and realize that the middle part was still a dream. And that is the nightmare in here, right? I'm the dreamer, but I'm like I said, you're inside out, like in your own head. It's a little bit Inception. So the awakening happens when you kind of get the download that, oh, this world that I thought I was existing in isn't actually the real one. Now, it could be literal, but it also could be, like when you're dreaming that you're getting ready to go to work and then you end up late because you thought you were already up. It's that kind of thing. It's your consciousness is expanding. But also this, if this was trying to be an 11, it'd be 1112. See, 10 can be a 10. 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's a progression. 6 of Fire. Victory. Good news is on its way. Public recognition or awards. Now, it's interesting that this fire is coming in the swords area, where you would expect air to be, because it says good news, that's communication. Recognition or awards, that's also communication. Like, I'm being seen instead of I'm fine, I can handle everything. It's like, oh, you're doing a good job on what you're doing. I've accomplished the goal. And that energy is Jupiter in Leo. And the only thing that I'm thinking of right now is that Jupiter is in Capricorn, and this reading is for Capricorn. So it's bringing this solar fire out into the open, right? I'm trusting, I'm into my core, my solar chakra. I'm starting out, and when I have this sort of mental awakening of, you know, what is real for me that fulfills me emotionally, suddenly there's a barrier and I'm not being overextended into 7. I'm victorious in what I'm doing. 3 and 6 is 9 again in the middle. Like the dream is changing. And then I have the 4 of Wands inverted in the material world. Contentment, peace, and abundance, a happy home life, the successful completion of a project. Now, 4 of Wands can be 11-11. It can be universal timing. It's the dark and the light, the masculine and the feminine coming together. But I see a 10 trying to form here, but there's like a resistance of some kind, right? I see the same sort of larval dragon, like embryonic dragon, that core fire, but it's like I'm starting to do better, but I don't, like, it's like open-ended. I have nothing to stand on yet. Like, my foundation isn't coming in. 4 of Wands is Venus in Aries. Now, Mars is retrograding in Aries, and I do see a lot lately that Mars wants Venus to do some work for it, and it tends to pull Venus into inversion when the Mars retrograde is present. And what's interesting is that there's Aries inverted here, and I've seen the Emperor inverted in the 2 readings that I've already done. Emperor came up inverted in Scorpio and in Sagittarius, and I feel like this is a similar energy. Let's see what this potential future is. I might come back to that. I feel like there's more there. One and 4 is 5, a shift or a pivot, plus 6 is 11, is timing. I feel the earth move under my feet. There's no foundation because the manifestation is still shifty. Like, I don't know how to finish setting up my tent. Okay, so potential future. 2 of Wands inverted. Mars in Aries. There it is again. You've come into your own. New partnerships or contracts continue to move forward. So we see with here and this missing foundation, there's something there's a timing issue. Something's hanging in the balance. This is usually making a decision, right? But in the invert, it can be like the decision is made for me. Or I don't have a choice. But let's see. 7 of Earth inverted. Okay, so again with the timing, this is inverted for me tells me impatience. Seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, unnecessary worry. Right? In my heart, I feel like things aren't growing because it's taking longer than I thought. 2 and 7, 9 again, just like up here. Did I make the right choice? This is taking a long time. Like a insecurity. So then we have the Empress inverted, Archangel Gabriel. Lavish abundance, give birth to your dreams. Right here. Nurture yourself and others, but it's not happening. So I see this 9 and 3 here as being this 12. Right? Like, it's taking too long, and I don't want to keep watering. I don't want to keep nurturing this plan that I'm trying to do. Like, it looks like it's never going to happen. So why should I even try to breathe life to these dreams? I just try to a little bit heart these dreams. These dreams. I think one of the lyrics is like, and I woke and I closed my eyes or something like that. I don't remember. So I have the 4 of Earth here. This came up in the last reading too. I think I had this for Sagittarius. Yeah, I definitely had this for Sagittarius. It was called Power. And I'm seeing a similar theme with all this fire here. Being too frivolous or too cautious with money, good business decisions, giving to those less fortunate. But it's coming in inverted. I see the 4s here and the 7s here. I'm getting this 11 matchy-matchy. The 4 of Pentacles is the Sun in Capricorn. So I see Leo energy, and then Sagittarius is in Capricorn, and then Saturn also in Capricorn. It's in my music deck, it's the world is not enough. Here, it's when it's inverted, it's like I'm starting to learn when to hold and when to fold, right? I don't need to try to hold on to things that aren't mine. And this is coming in the physical world. So it's almost like saying that this delay that seems like it's stretching out forever into your future is to help you learn more what is really for you and what's not really for you. Right? It's like I'm understanding my interior drive, but I don't know how to get it. Well, you just started. You're at a page. You're not gonna get to the Emperor level and have this like secure, stable, hundreds of year long, like all the way into the ground foundation in, a month or a year or maybe even 2 years. But the essence here is that what seems like it's not fair and is dragging on forever and ever is at a point to say, when things start to build exponentially, I'm going to know what I want in the physical world and what I don't want. I'm not going to say I can handle it, I'm fine. I'm going to say, no, I don't want that. And it's the key distinction. It's a time to... I'm getting that bird song, the song that the birds sang, that I think Bob Dylan wrote it. There's a time and a season. Turn, turn, turn there, that's what it's called. So there is an element of timing in here. There's also this sort of ramping up of energy and this internal like victory over the self. It might be I've won over my ego, but I'm still struggling to manifest. All right, so let's look at the advice. So we have Pleiades inverted. Double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. So it came in inverted, like these other cards coming in for the near future. I'm confused. I'm not sure what I'm doing. right? I've had a hard time figuring out which of all these things are for me to do because I know that I'm supposed to be doing multiple things. I feel like I don't have time to sit around and wait and figure out what both of they are. I need to know, like, at least one of the things already. So there's this confusion and frustration and wanting to, like, bust through there. Break the train. Okay, train. Wow. All right. Break the chain. Ancestral patterns, healing, and rewriting the future. Okay, so this is exactly what this reading is about. Breaking the chain. Pleiades is like an ancestral thing. A lot of people are like, oh, I came from the Pleiades, right? So either their soul remembers being there more recently or their DNA is coming from there. This is, to me, is actually ancestral trauma, now that I'm looking at it with this other card. I was dropped down here. I didn't ask for this. It fell on my head and now I can't remember what I'm doing. But I'm trying to break whatever's going on in these ancestral patterns that I don't know about. That's what the holdup is. I'm getting over my ego, but the growth here is maybe my nurturing has to come and deal with what's going on in my DNA so I can break free from that and then be able to move forward knowing what's really mine and what's not, right? I'm not holding on to all this baggage that doesn't even belong to me, whether it's some crap that that's haunted, that's been passed down generation to generation. I don't need a haunted music box, thanks. Or all this emotional work that has to be done that you're like, I'm fine, I can handle it, and it's not even something that you started. It's from 200,000 years ago. Alright, so let's look at what's going on in these past... Wait for the loud vehicle to go by and get some water. Okay. 9 minutes. Okay. So... in the far distant past, we have Elk. Oh, I hate this card. It comes up all the time for me. This is a lot like the King of Pentacles. And we see sacral energy. Or, why did I say sacral? I meant to say root energy. Okay, so apparently it's sacral energy. It's protection. I see heart energy. I see roots. I see crown activation. I'm going to probably end up reading that because I never remember what it's really supposed to mean. But it's similar to King of Pentacles. I have the owl, air element. So this is the wisdom. The wisdom... to change the things I can and to not worry about the things I can't, and the wisdom to know the difference. I think I said that not quite right, but there it is. Oh, you know what? In my last reading for Sagittarius, I was talking about the Tootsie Roll center of the Tootsie Pop, and now I'm getting the owl. It's kind of funny. Spider. Caught in the web. The webs we weave. But this is also about constructing your own world. With all the chakras here. I'm weaving the tapestry of my own environment. I'm dreaming the world into being. It's giving me a little bit of Weave World by Clive Barker. I've read that book twice. And it does have this element of magic to it. Right? I'm creating a world within a world. It also has to do with this psychic intuition because you can sort of... this like slight movement over here sends vibrations all the way into the center. Raccoon inverted. I don't know if I've gotten this card before. Trash panda. 2 double letters. I think C is 500. So 1,000 plus 2 more zeros is, I think, 100,000 years ago. Interesting. 700,000 years ago. Oh, I'm getting the energy of 7, but also getting that there's something going on here 100,000 years ago. So 8 and 3 and 3 as well. So let me skim these. I'm going to start with the raccoon because that's intriguing. Earth elemental. Talented, shadowy, and in hiding. Raccoon energy is at play within all artists to greater or lesser degrees. At best, it indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness with a particular musical instrument or creative tool. Its shadow side points to an unresolved issue around self-image and success. So this is the major scar that's popping up here. So I have 7 letters, 7 of air. Self-image and success. Sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask works in an artist's favor. Other times it limits creativity. Am I who my audience thinks I am? What if I'm ready to grow into something more? Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego fear is resolved. So that's what's happening here. I'm overcoming the ego, but I still have this fear of, is anything going to happen if I let the cat out of the bag? So this energy is competitive and a starving artist, right? I have to, I'm jealous when other people do better because it means nobody's paying attention to me. So in order to come into balance, I need to create something new. So we have a competition and this idea of if someone else is being creative and more popular, that means there's nothing left for me. I have to fight and scrape and do whatever I can to get by. I have to take on everything. Like a jack of all trades instead of doing what I love. Let me look at spider energy real quick. It's another earth elemental. So we have inverted earth. I'm ungrounded, which is what it feels like for Capricorn to be in the air here. I'm ungrounded, and then I have 2 earth signs, and then I have the owl coming in to swoop in. Take you on a little dream ride here. Where is the body? The spider in it. Here we go. Okay. Prosperity through life's work and dharma. So dharma is like your life's purpose. Weaving the thread of dharma into a vast, intricate web that supports the spider and those around it both financially and spiritually. Creativity is everywhere. Be process-oriented rather than results-oriented, right? This is results-oriented. Why is it taking so long? Instead of being in the moment in time and saying, oh, okay, I'm flowing with this process. That's where the nurturing comes in. Don't be looking for the bigger, better deal. Be nurturing yourself and being like, oh, I feel this now, right? It's like he loves it because he feels it. Soon your work becomes like the weaving of a magical, priceless tapestry. Abundance follows. And the Empress is abundance. So this block to abundance has to do with you know, being able to be in the moment and enjoying the process more than trying to hurry through it and get the results. Now it's coming in upright, which means that it should be all right, but we see that there's already this trend towards scarcity here, right? The web is still there, but it's getting thinner. So let me look at elk. Stable, resilient, headstrong, and the father energy. So that's kind of like the emperor as well. Masculine earth element form. Support and stability amidst life's many changes, which is the shifting here. Fully established in themselves, knows their core values. So this is what's happening here. It's something that's being reclaimed on this present line, but is still not fully recognized. Become known and respected for acting in ways that uphold the values. Sometimes the elk's ego can become inflated, right? It's like, why isn't it like things should be going well for me, right? People should be, you know, I should be lauded for my actions. The jealousy. It says, for the most part, they make damn good fathers, mothers, lovers, and friends. So it's support, kind, and consistent. When it's out of balance, it's pretentious, high, and mighty. So there's these sort of stable energies that are starting to be pulled down by this fighting for attention and resources. Let me look at the owl and see if there's anything else there. I think what's really going to be what's happening between before and there is in the Dreams of Gaia cards. Owl. 67. Ooh. Okay, so let's see. Okay. So this is abundance, again with abundance. Clairvoyant and treasures. Some of this energy that's coming in here with the awakening with Gabriel, the angel of Annunciation, and all this air energy has to do with clairvoyance. Especially with these air energies coming in the psychic waters. Abundance, clairvoyant, and treasures. Mysterious and otherworldly creature found in folklore from east to west. This is a white owl. Particular companion of the goddess Lakshmi and represents wealth, beauty, and good fortune. It's an omen that a boon or treasure is on the way, either spiritual or material. You'll see and know exactly what you do with the boon, how it can further serve your dharma and bring abundance to the world. Okay, so this is matching with this and with that one in terms of abundance. Now this is coming in upright, which says generous, trusting, and secure, but in out of balance, it's money, quarrels, and scarcity. So we see that perhaps in this ancient past time frame with possibly 100,000 years ago, there's this sort of balanced society where people are psychic, they're in tune, they're providing, they're sort of in their flow, and then there's something that causes this competition and scarcity mindset where creativity is disrupted in some way. And I think it stems into the sacral energy. I don't feel safe. My creativity is being upset. And it could have been some kind of asteroid because it looks like a dark object coming in at high speed. Or some sort of portal. So just say perhaps some sort of sudden natural disaster causes scarcity mindset and ends up stifling creativity and security, the feelings of safety and ancestors. In the intervening time, faith inverted. So this is a 24 in this deck, which breaks down to 6. This is a little bit like the Hierophant. This deck is sort of like a cross between an oracle deck and a tarot deck because the major arcana are different and some of the other cards are different as well. I haven't gotten this card that much, but there's this turtle here. Ooh, I dreamed this the other day. That's why it was so puffy. This turtle on this card appeared in one of my dreams the other day. And it was sort of disturbing. It was like on top of a refrigerator. I was trying to clean it with a copper scrubby. And it was like tanned, like leathery, but it was like hollowy and squishy. Like it was mummified, but soft. And then it started moving around because it wasn't dead yet. I feel like this is supposed to be Gabriel on this card too. Now, this isn't how I see Gabriel, but I'm feeling like a similar energy. I see Gabriel as much more masculine and wearing darker colors, more like red and with black hair. But anyway, this is essentially Gabriel here. We have this tree from the Seven of Earth here. I have this wolf energy, crane or whatever that is. So I have this, the water, the air, and the earth, and then the fire is coming down from up here. So number 6, potentially healing, but in the when there's a disconnect from safety, there's been a loss of faith. Now it could be religious, like a lot of religious upheaval, but it could also be I've lost faith in myself and my ability to create and provide, because inverted we see this energy as being sort of orange down in the sacral area. I've lost some of my spirituality. I'm having a hard time connecting with the universe. I don't feel safe, and I don't feel nurtured. So we have the Queen of Earth. Now this is interesting. 13, which breaks down to 4. This could be, 13 could be a death cycle. I also see this buffalo here. And there is a buffalo card. I'm going to see if there's a buffalo card in this deck. So I don't remember if there is or not. Because it's giving me more of a cow energy, but more like wild. Oh, there is a buffalo card. Okay, so I'm going to pull that one. Let me read that. Okay. Grounded yet heavenly, practical yet spiritual. Grounded in the earth, heart and mind rise towards the heaven. Sees challenges, hardship, or a bump in the road as an opportunity for upliftment. Does not fear death, illness, or misfortune. Gentle eyes look to the road ahead, trusting every turn. Interesting. So it's like I'm experiencing some sort of death cycle related to how I interact in the physical world. But I'm at a place where even though I'm losing faith, I'm still going to trust my path forward. Right? I'm disconnected, but I'm still able to be grounded enough. Even though I'm not getting any more downloads, I'm still able to ground. Look at this, there's a spider on here. Unbelievable. Ace of Wands inverted. No, the Ace of Wands popped out in the Sagittarius reading. The Ace of Fire inverted. I'm getting this idea of like it's a cold... I just heard like cruel, cruel summer, but I'm like it's gonna be a cold winter. Look at this. These, I feel like these are connected. I'm losing my core fire, right? I'm losing faith in myself, in my solar chakra, and I'm not able to attach myself anymore to my life purpose, to my dharma. My world is starting to unravel. But on the outside, I'm just gonna keep putting one foot in front of the other and try not to look off to the path too far. So let's see what the most recent past has. Two of Swords again. To me, this is like the ego and the regular self. Right? The real person is like, hey, maybe I should take a look at what's going on over here. The ego is like inflated, is like, no, look at me. I'm the most important thing in the mirror. And I have a Five of Wands inverted. So Five of Wands is a conflict. Right? The little kids are fighting, and it's like, I don't care who started it. I don't care who sharded it. You two need to knock it off. But it's coming in inverted. So I see this idea of 2, which I had over here, and 7, and I see 5, which is a pivot. And this is like, I'm not even going to, like, I'm not in a position to fight off this ego anymore, right? The elk over here, maybe a little bit of an ego problem once in a while, get a little flustered, want to knock your horns into somebody else, tangle your rack. But, you know, I usually come out of it until there's too much scarcity, and then I can't seem to connect to that anymore. And by here, it's like I've lost my grounding completely. I'm all swords and wands, right? I'm just ready to swing my stick around and see what it hits on. So we have the Moon and Libra energy again here, and then the Five of Wands is Saturn in Leo. And I feel like this Six of Wands here, when I said victory over the ego, is coming from this Five of Wands over here when I've lost to the ego. And the ego is now controlling my perspective. This is like I need to start practicing again and be able to overcome. Now when I said break the train, 7 is the Chariot. This is what I'm breaking, is this devolvement into this scarcity, jealousy mindset. Now I do see Jupiter here, and that's Sagittarian energy. And this is Jupiter in Leo. So by overcoming this ego that distorts my view of reality and what the universe is bringing me, I'm able to free myself so that I can start nurturing myself and gaining more stability, but I need patience. Alright, so for overall, I have the Hawk inverted. Bird's eye view. Look at this. Root, sacral, solar, and a little bit of heart energy. Especially when it's inverted. Right? It's like I'm in the underworld. I'm in the upside down. I'm in the dream world. I'm in Wonderland. Now we have thought. This is 18 in this deck. Now, that's usually the moon. And it's very green here, right? I'm thinking about my manifestation. And I can see that my soup isn't ready yet, but I'm really feeling this fire energy. I'm having a think. taking it out. So let me read Hawk so I can know what the hell I'm doing here. Skim it. It says, watchful, all-seeing, and messenger of divinity. The sharp eyes of the hawk watch our every move. This keen-eyed bird has the ability to see every little detail as well as the bigger picture. When it appears a fate has its eyes on you and the winds are shifting, the hawk carries news upon its wings and is sent from divinity itself to deliver it. I feel like this is in a response to the owl way back in time, and to Gabriel as well. The message should not be taken lightly. It may seem small or insignificant, but it will eventually redirect your course. Okay, so when it's out of balance in this upside down position, it says, seeing too much or suspicious. And this thinking, it's like, I'm a little bit suspicious of what's in here. That looks kind of gross. I don't know if I want that soup. It says to bring into balance a perspective shift, which is exactly what the Two of Air is for. But this inability to see the bigger picture is, I'm a little bit impatient about connecting to source by going deep within my core, right? I'm afraid of stepping whole hog into the dream world and learning the rules. I think I want to get one more card to explain that clearly. Let me... I'm actually going to do this. One of these. This one. And one of these. Now I have Capricorn, Sun, Mercury, and Venus, so this reading is a little bit kicking my own ass, but I guess both of these. I'm also feeling like there's something that's not fully explained for everyone else. Queen of Water inverted. Yeah, it's like I'm not trusting my intuition. Right, there's like, I feel unloved. And there's this idea of 13 of a death cycle happening. The ever-unfolding rose cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. And the great gathering. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits and soul tribe. Right? I feel alone. Where's my people? I got dropped down here. But no, look, there's other people too. Like, you just need to connect to your soul tribe. It's like I'm trying to figure out which people are mine and which people aren't. So it might not even be stuff. It might be I'm trying to find you in your body out here in the world, and I'm having a hard time. You know, it's like, what am I doing with my life? I'm having a hard time figuring it out. Well, let me just... 175. Let me to go back to that again. I wasn't looking. 75. I need to shift my perspective. I need to let go a little bit and be less impatient. I need to take more time and think about nurturing myself instead of trying to be there for everyone else. Now I see this deer back here and it reminds me of the elk. There's a wolf here and what looks like, I think it's supposed to be a baby bear, and there's a fox and a mountain lion, and she's holding a baby. There's a bunch of butterflies on here for transformation as well. So it's like I need that grounding. I need to give myself some... Is this Gabriel also? These are both Gabriel. This was Gabriel. I need to have faith in myself. I need to nurture myself in order to feel less alone and less in competition. It's like if I nurture myself, then I know that someone is definitely paying attention to me. And even though it feels like things are taking too long, the work that actually has to be done is to work on being there for oneself, for Capricorn. So this is part of this death cycle of November being in Scorpionic energy. It also has to do with the sacral chakra, because Scorpio rules the sex glands. It rules the genitals, which is basically where the sacral energy is sitting. And because I've got this ancestral reading, the point of doing these ancestral readings in November is because Halloween is the end of the pagan year. It's the death knell. And then November 1st is like the beginning of the new year, and it starts with the All Souls Day, where it's sort of, if you're going to hear from the ancestors, that's when it's going to be. The veil thins, and you can get that spiritual connection you need if you go into your core and get in touch with the emotional waters, right? And I've seen in Sagittarius too, but also Capricorn, really avoiding the emotion. It's all, I'm in my thoughts. Well, you might be in your thoughts, but this fire here has to be addressed too, and what's between them. What needs to bridge that gulf? You need to go through the water, right? You can't do the obstacle course without going over the pool, right? So I think that's it for that. And the sacral chakra does rule. It's the birthplace of creativity, right? Literally the birthplace. Creating of life or projects or ideas. Right? It's the charcoal, and the solar chakra is the match. Alright, so if you want to get a personal reading like this one or the other ones that I offer, the complete list is going to be in the description box of my infomercial video, which is going to be linked below this one. You can also email me, thecatcamebackatcamp@gmail.com, and I'll get you that whole list. It's got these links to the other stuff that I'm doing. I've got coloring books, poetry, merch, prints, drawings of various nature, some stuffed animals. Not the tiger, that someone gave that to me, but the other ones I made. Actual art items, and so on and so forth. So all of this information is going to be linked with that description box, or you can just email me and I'll send you that via text. If you want to help keep my channel running, you can hit that tip jar, energy exchange, paypal.me/CATtheMinion. I also have Cash App and Venmo. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out my playlist tab, my discussion tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.